Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Force Feed for this Tuesday, January 24th. Today we'll be talking about DLC and demos, Darksiders 2 gets a new video, Microsoft points may be going bye-bye, and BioWare hates jokes. Let's jump into the news. The Assassin's Creed Revelations DLC, Mediterranean Traveler, is now available. This DLC is going to feature some new trophies and achievements. In addition to that, we will have access to 3 new, as well as 3 fan-favorite maps from Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. The new maps are going to be Jerusalem, Constantinople, and Dyers, and the returning maps are Firenze, San Donato, and Siena. Pretty sure I mispronounced every single one of those. The DLC is available for $9.99 on PSN and the PC, or 800 Microsoft points on Xbox Live. Modern Warfare 3 also saw some DLC today in the form of 2 new multiplayer maps for members of the Xbox 360 Elite service. The first of the new maps is Liberation, a militarized Central Park in the heart of New York City, featuring a vast landscape ripe for long-range sniper and LMG kills. Mounted turrets on opposing ends of the map offer overwhelming firepower to anyone brave enough to man them. The second map is Piazza, set in an idyllic seaside village, Italian getaway gone rogue, where blind corners and complex network of branching pathways pose danger at every turn. Visceral close-quarters combat dominates in Piazza, and attacks from above and below are an ever-constant threat. So those are the 2 new maps available for Modern Warfare 3. In addition to that, they have released a web calendar which is going to show off their future content plans from now until September. A new video for Darksiders 2 was released today. In it, we get to take a look at the history of Death. I must say, he is one scary, scary character. Once again, I am excited for this game, and it's nice to get a little bit of lore and backstory behind it. Although there isn't much gameplay in this video, it's again trying to get us immersed in the story and the context of Darksiders 2, and it's something that I actually really enjoyed. A rumor coming out of Inside Mobile Apps today states that Microsoft may be getting rid of their Microsoft Points system. In the article on Inside Mobile Apps, they state that Microsoft plans to phase out its Microsoft Points currency by the end of 2012. The rumor also states that anyone with a Microsoft Points balance when the transfer takes place will have the remainder of their balance converted into their local currency. Now, no confirmation has come from Microsoft, but I gotta tell you, I wouldn't be too upset if this actually happened. I think that the Microsoft Points system just kind of makes things unnecessarily difficult. I mean, where exactly do they get off thinking that they need their own currency system? I mean, for God's sakes, we have enough problem dealing with currency conversion as it is, and having this currency system specifically for Xbox, I think it's entirely unnecessary. Being forced to make a purchase, to make a secondary purchase, isn't something that we really enjoy doing, and it kind of goes back to the idea of the easier something is, the more likely people are to do it. If I have to go out and buy a currency card to purchase something on Xbox Live, it's a huge pain in the butt. If I have to refill my Microsoft Points currency just to be able to get something that I want on Xbox Live, it decreases the likelihood of me actually doing that. It would be much simpler for them and better for them if they just used real-world currency, and people will be much more likely to make purchases if you take away that extra step. I don't know if that's a good thing for the consumer, as you may be more liable to spend money on impulse buys, but for the company, I think it's a good move for Microsoft, and to make it easier for myself in general, I'm a fan of that. And then lastly in news, I had to let you guys know about this. Apparently BioWare hates jokes, specifically internet memes that state you're under the age of 13. So let me lay this out for you. This is exactly what happened. An internet user posted on the forums, the BioWare forums, the internet meme, "I'm 12 and what is this?" As a result, he subsequently had his account permanently suspended by BioWare due to a violation of their terms of service. The specific thing that they've stated was, it's come to our attention that you're under the age of 13, and as a result, you cannot have a Star Wars The Old Republic account, and now your account has been permanently banned. Yes, that is a joke, my friends, but no, I'm not kidding. BioWare, what the heck? That is super unnecessary and a little bit ridiculous. Now, on the flip side of that, I do have to say, they have really no way of confirming whether or not he's under the age of 13. So I guess if he states it on the forums, then maybe they should technically ban him because he shouldn't be having an account. No, I'm not going to try to justify this. This is stupid. Absolutely ridiculous. Please don't do anything that says you're under the age of 13 or you're going to have your account permanently banned. Thanks a lot, BioWare. In fact, I'm going to test a theory right now. Hello, BioWare. I am Dennis Duhamel. I've got a Star Wars The Old Republic account, and I'm 11 years old. Please don't ban me. And lastly, guys, I will be wrapping up today's episode with a question of the day. If you have a question that you would like answered on the Force Feed, you can send it to theforcefeed@forcestrategygaming.com. Today's question comes from George, and he asks, what do you think about games that require a code to be able to use the multiplayer? For instance, if I gamefly a game and want to play online, I have to buy a code for $10. Do you think that Gamefly should already have this code included? Well, the reason Gamefly can't offer you a code is just the way this online structure is generally set up. It's the fact that there is one code per physical copy of a game. Now, it's important to keep in mind that these online codes are specifically designed to combat the used game market, specifically looking at some place like GameStop. The idea is that since there's only one code per physical copy, if someone buys a used game, then they don't get access to all of the content. Now, the whole idea behind this is to get people to purchase the new games, as that money will go to the publisher and the developer, as opposed to purchasing used games, which will give money instead to GameStop for just buying and then reselling a game. So that's why this whole online code thing exists, and unfortunately, if you purchase a game from a place like Gamefly, you're not going to have access to the online internet for that very reason. Now, I would have to imagine that a company like Gamefly could work something out because of the way their service runs and the fact that they are renting games for a short period of time. I don't think it's necessarily fair that in that instance you should be unlocked out of the online mode. But again, maybe this is something they're also trying to fight. The game industry may not like the way the Gamefly service runs because they get nothing from that transaction. If you purchase a game from Gamefly, the company that published that game and developed that game, they don't get anything for that. So again, we have to think about, why are these online codes in place, what's their purpose, and what does it do as an end result? And I think that with a little bit of understanding of why they exist, that maybe will help you understand why you can't get it from someone like Gamefly. Again, it is a little bit unfortunate, but the bottom line is that the developers and the publishers want money for their games, and if you're going to buy a used game or rent a game, they don't get anything for it, and as a result, you don't have full access to all of their content, specifically the online access part of the game. It's unfortunate in one sense, but you have to look at it from a business stance as well. But at the same time, for us gamers, it does kind of suck, I have to agree, and I wish there were ways around it other than what this is, the online pass system, but as of now, this is kind of their best answer. And that's going to open up for a question, you guys who are watching this video. Besides online passes, how do you think that publishers and developers can fight the used game market without screwing us gamers over? Alright guys, and that is going to do it for this episode of the Force Feed. As always, I thank you so much for watching. If you like the content, be sure to subscribe and stay tuned tomorrow for another episode keeping you up to date on all the most recent gaming news and announcements. Once again, this has been Force, and you've just been force-fed. Also, I'm 12, and what is this?